So Ed, on the 4 points that you mentioned and in the broader context, do you think that this is necessarily a big business problem, or is this a small business problem?
No, I would say that everyone's been affected by this, and of course everyone experiences it differently, and how to respond to it is of course the question here. And I think in many cases we think, at least what we see is that bigger businesses in some cases are a bit more resilient. They can take more on, as it were, in terms of that. But then if we think about change and changing processes and just being more agile, then SMEs have the ability to maybe do that in a much better way. So the effect has definitely been across the board, but different entities need to think about how they can respond to this. And I think that's really going to be the key for me around the response to it, because of course we know this is the nature of business. The nature of business is that we will face problems, and generally when these come along, they sometimes like a mechanism that help us to respond. In some cases we would maybe be mediocre about a particular change that we need to make, but this will enforce that to a large extent. So it's helped, I think, big business to a large extent, from the productivity standpoint, which we've addressed. But then small business, of course, have had to make certain changes. And I think what we'll see as a result of that is the spark of innovation. So the silver lining that I think Rak addressed earlier is really where we can see innovation that will come off as a result of this. And hopefully that will also assist in the economy in the short and medium term.